but the other two were. I did post the other videos. They're up. If you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, you should subscribe so you are alerted that they've been put up. It's been a great and busy time for us, and hopefully we'll get some downtime to spend some more time working on some things that are important to us. So, anyways, I was just with a new group. I love doing that. Always fun to bring in a new group. I'm gonna bring them in a couple weeks, give them a chance to have some separate time. I thought, with the bigger group, I think sometimes you guys are a little too far ahead for them, and it might be intimidating. So I'm going to spend some one-on-one time with them, and that's where I was. My apologies. So next week, I'll just let everybody know. Let's start at quarter to 10. If you could, everyone, my apologies for that delay, but let's do that so I can give these guys a little bit of their own time on this Tuesday, okay? So let's start with you guys are a great group. You're a great group, and I'm glad you guys can make it, okay? So let's open up with general questions. Who's got any general questions? Anybody got anything they want to talk about? Okay, Anna, throw something at me. Go ahead. You came across an opportunity. That's a great way to start with your question. The seller has two fourplexes and 2 lots. Is that all in the same area? Now, is that 2 fourplexes and 2 separate lots? So this is 4 properties. Is that right? Okay. All right. Good. The 2 lots are empty. All right. He's a little in a situation he has to sell everything to one buyer. Okay. He has to sell everything to one buyer. Okay. All right, well, let's see if we can help him. What'd you come up with for, because everything has one entry that is private and belongs to one of the plexes. So these lots, this is not really 4 separate properties then. It's one. Those are not severed lots, right? Okay, because everything has one entry? Oh, I see. You mean physical entry, like drive-in entry. Oh, really? That's interesting. Okay. All right. So what do the properties come up with? What do we come up with the properties? Yeah, what is the cash flow? Are we cash flowing with the 2? Have you run the numbers? Okay, so 4 titles, asking price. Okay, $726 totally asking. Okay, but when you separate the 4 fourplexes, the 2 fourplexes, what's their cap rate? Have you run the numbers on it, Anna? But we can bring down the price and it works okay. You gotta have to run the numbers again. Okay, when you run the numbers now, Anna, what do you got? Do you want it? We got time, Anna. If you want to send it to me right now, I'll bring it up right now. I ran both 4 plexes together. Okay, send it to me right now. Let's all look at this together. Like to schedule some time. If you recall, we posted some ads and have received great response. We have 2 pending rent-to-own discussions and 1 wholesale to review the numbers. Okay, so first, what I'd love everyone to understand and do is run the numbers on every property that you get and send them to me so I can review them. And any questions, obviously put in the email. And if needed, you know I'm always available for you guys, for you folks. So I have no problem getting on the phone if we need to. What I want to do is I want to have all the information possible. So if that's the case, if we need to have a phone conversation, we, everything, all the information that is needed is in front of me. Okay. Okay, so I'm waiting for your email. You let me know, Anna, when you sent it. Okay, good. That's right. Whenever you get somebody, folks, for rent to own, any person that you think is somebody who's eligible for rent to own, you need to take them to your mortgage broker. And your mortgage broker needs to qualify them. And what the mortgage broker does for us is he tells us, or she tells us, what is it that these people need to do? What's their current situation? What is it they need to do to be qualified in the future? And how long will it take them to be qualified, right? And for what amount, right? So that's what's going to allow us to do that and move those forward. We really, more than anything, we need our mortgage broker involved to vet them. Okay. Now, obviously, the mortgage broker is going to be rewarded by the. Oh, I see you sent it to me. Okay. 1 second. The mortgage broker is going to be rewarded by either the front end, the back end, or both of the deal. We either purchase through them, or we purchase through them, or we have the tenant buyer purchase the property through them. Either way, they're going to get 1 or 2 transactions out of the deal. So typically, they're on board with running these rent-to-owns. And as you establish that relationship, of course, they will forward you other opportunities as they come. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm just opening up the file. Okay. Let me bring you guys in on it. Okay. Everybody see that okay? A little bit bigger. Okay. So, does everybody see that? Don't worry about the lots right now. Right now, we'll just look at the income on the properties. So 569, 8 units, 52,000. Okay. Okay, so we come down. These are the only expenses: taxes and insurance, electricity. I guess we're paying for, and snow removal, $300, which is not bad for snow removal. We can vet all those, obviously. We come down here, management. Why is management 0? Just curious. Just checking the numbers and how they work without it. Well, if we go 0, the cap rate's 5.4. If we go 10, the cap rate's 4.5. GRM is kind of high, and the average profit per unit is about negative $3, and the coverage ratios break even. Okay, but that's really a function of the financing. I'm not too worried about that right now. I'm more worried about the income versus the purchase price. These expenses too, electricity, and that's for 8 units, which seems pretty low for 8 units, to tell you the truth. But again, we can vet all those things, right? Okay, so what can we do to help this property out? Because when we come down here, we see 256, which is basically saying it's 50% the value. It's less than 50% of the value. The electricity is for the basement and the 1 unit. The rest paid by tenants. Okay, so the one tenant pays 100. You paid 114 for electricity for this one tenant. Is that right? It services the basement and the one tenant. Okay, so here's our challenge, folks. Our challenge is that the income is $550 per unit. The income is they're kind of on the low rent. How's the neighborhood? Not too good. Okay. Okay, that's okay. What do you want to do with this? I don't know if this is something that we want to jump into. You want to wholesale it? Okay. All right. Okay, what do you think you can get the price for then? Tell me that. Said you thought you could get the price a little bit lower. Are you working with a realtor on this deal? Okay. What does the realtor say? Couple questions. Seller, realtor. Okay. Couple questions. Okay. That's a great question. Are they included in there, Anna? I'm assuming no. So the 569 doesn't include the empty lots. Yeah, that's going to be a challenge. What is the? You said the seller has to sell, or he has to sell all 4 together. Does he have to sell? Is he in a situation where he needs to sell? Do you know the motivation? 726 for all of it. He has to sell at least the plexus. Has to be together as the water and the basement electricity is connected. Is land worth anything for the area? I would say it's not worth 200 grand. 170, 40, 60, 75. Yeah. You never know. There's a lot of new construction. So Anna, what does your realtor say about this property? Okay, and most of what is sold is over the asking. Why are the properties going over asking? It's close to Montreal. Okay. Then why are the rents so low? Are people buying these houses and tearing them down and rebuilding? Is that what's happening, Anna? Okay. Well, what does your realtor say this is worth? It's their realtor or your realtor? You said it was a selling realtor. Their realtor. Okay. This price, I mean, this thing doesn't make any money. There's room to negotiate. That's a good sign. Because, yeah, yeah. You know what? The vacancy is probably maybe even higher than 5. I don't know. The rent in the area, how's it the room? Okay. Because they said there's room for negotiation. How much should I offer? Should we just offer for plexes and forget the land? Well, we don't know what the land's worth. Did you get an appraisal? What are they telling you the land's worth? Like, I mean, this is where you know, the units right now, we need to know this thing makes money. If the property of the land is going to fetch us, you know, some profit to offset the cost of the property, then okay. But it sounds like everything they're selling right now is in a retail state, and to pay retail for a property in a rough area, not really what we want to do. Yeah, these numbers are far away from where we need to be to get this thing working right. All right, so if you want any, a couple things you can try. Okay, so you know, the land, I don't know what you're going to be able to do with the land. He can't do anything with the land. I don't know what we're going to do with the land. But it looks like it's in retail state. I don't know what else you can do. You can attempt to wholesale, but the dilemma with the wholesale is you got to know that the property's worth more, you know, more than what they're saying. Because right now, let's be honest, it was, let's see, you know, that cap rate is yeah, it's 4.5. That cap rate is very close, you know, to I mean, Montreal, like being in Montreal. That's a cap rate that you would seek, you know, in Montreal, you know, as retail. 4.5 for this area, and this number seems way overpriced. Do you know what I mean, Anna? No, this is a high cap rate, 4.5. Sorry, low cap rate, which obviously is going to get you a higher price. This 569. These costs are, I mean, his costs. They're his costs. They gave them to you. You know, I don't know how they're telling you. Did they give you any numbers on vacancy, maintenance, or management? He's managing it. What about maintenance and vacancy? Like always rented, they said. All right. I know. That's funny. What about maintenance? There's no maintenance apparently on this property either. This property doesn't have maintenance. Doesn't get maintained. Just magically is. Didn't mention that. How old? Yeah. How old are the buildings? Yeah. I mean, that it might be higher than 5% if they're older. At the end of the day, we need numbers. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's. Yeah, I'm glad I make you laugh, man. How about, you know what? Let's do this as an exercise, everybody on the call, okay? So I would tell you this, Anna. If you're looking for wholesale, I'd tell you to give him this offer. I'll give you an offer to give him, okay? For wholesale. Okay? You ready, Anna? Okay, I understand. I thought we could make it work. Okay, all right. Okay, here we go. 456, 710. 456, 710. 456, 710. Okay, this is what you do, Anna. You say to him, or the realtor, look, the number we came up with is, it's too low. It's too low. To say it's too low. Not just for the fourplexes. Let's see what happens. Let's go to, you say to him, it's too low. You know, so I don't know if we can make this deal happen. They'll say, what's the offer? Say it's too low. Really, it's too low. Then when they beg you for it, or they ask you a second time for it, then give it to them and tell them what the number is. Okay. So and see what happens. Maybe there's a wholesale opportunity if it's a hot area. I can't believe it's that hot. Yeah, you could. Yeah, 550. But let's go. Let's see what happens with the property. Okay, and then you can let me know what happens with the other one. Okay. All right. So this is what we're gonna do. I wanna talk about. Hold on. Okay. So let's do this. Let's share. Okay. I want you to start to really use a metric that I think is extremely important, if used properly, to tell us if there's an opportunity. GRM. Okay? Everybody knows what GRM is, yes? Gross rent multiplier. Everybody understands GRM, right? So GRM is gross rent right? Gross rent times whatever, or divided by, to get the purchase price. So gross rent multiplier. Okay? So the multiplier, right? So the multiplier represents, so if the gross rent's 10,000, what is the multiplier to give us purchase price? So if the multiplier was, the multiplier is 6, which is what we're looking for, that's going to give me the purchase price of whatever this property is. So if the gross rents were 10,000, what would be the purchase price? Who could tell me? What would be the purchase price if the multiplier was 6 and the gross rents were 10,000? I can tell you're confused, right? Oh, there you go. Okay, I just had to move it down. Yeah, 60 grand. So 60,000 would be the purchase price. Okay, so gross rent multiplier is important for us because what it allows us to do is quickly understand if there's an opportunity. Okay, so if we have a cap, okay, of 12, that's pretty far away. Doesn't mean we can't do anything with it. You know, you can get as high as 16, I've seen, or even higher. But the cap rate of 12 to 16, you know, you're not going to find that property, and that's going to be very difficult for us to get that 12 or even that 16 to a what? To a 6 is what we're looking for. You know, if we have, a 10, 8 to 10 range, that's more like it. The 11, 12 is pretty tough. Does everybody understand what I'm saying here? That if you don't, that's okay. Let me know. But the 6 cap rate is what we're looking for. So I want you to start when you're looking at listings, right? Because I want you to recognize the the importance of time. Obviously, your time, and you want your time to be valuable and used properly. Obviously, so I don't want you to waste time on properties that are impossible to make work, or at least not know, what you're looking at as quickly as possible. So when we see a property that has a cap rate, of this area, or you could even say 11 to 16, the best we're going to be able to do with that is probably a wholesale, right? We're not going to do much with that. But at 8 to 10, 11 to 16, a 10 to 8, if it stays in the 10 to 8 range, we could do a rent to own, probably, and a fix and flip. In the 6 range, 7 range, we're going to be able to cash flow the property, most likely, right? Does everybody understand that? Let's do that again. So if you're getting, and it's not tough to get, rent, gross rent, and purchase price. Not hard, right? You can get that information relatively easy. That's going to give you, what the GRM is. So GRM, let's go GRM. Okay, so a 6. Well, let me just do that again. 0 to 7. Typically, we can make this cash flow. So that means we can what? We can what? What can we do with this property? Buy and hold, right? Buy and hold. Okay. If we see a cap rate of 8 to 10, that's going to be a what? That's going to be a flip or rent to own. If we see cap rates of 11 and higher, best we're going to hope for is a wholesale. Everybody see that? So let's do an example together. Does everybody see that? I don't want to take that away. I just want everybody. Anybody need more time to understand what I shared there? No? Okay. So let's take an actual example, right? Let's look at an example. So GRM. Okay, so let's say that the purchase price is 200,000. Let's make it simpler. 100,000. Okay. So what would the gross rent need to be? Let's do this. So what would the gross rent need to be to give us the GRM of 6? What would the gross rents need to be? Who can tell me? So how do we figure that out? How do we figure that out? We take, there you go. Excellent. You take purchase price divided by GRM to give you the gross rents. Okay? Does everybody see that? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, the gross rents there. Okay, good. So the first one, we see that the gross rent needs to be $16,666 or less. Okay? Now, how much is that per month? Divided by 12? $1,388. Oops. $1,388. Okay. If the GRM, if I was trying to generate a GRM, say of, let's go 9, right? What would be the gross rent? There you go. 11,111 monthly rent. $922. Sorry, $926. Does everybody see what I'm doing here? So we took 16,666 divided by 12. We took the same thing here, right? This is the gross rent for the year. That's the monthly. Okay. So does everybody see what I'm trying to establish here? What we're trying to figure out here? I want you to be able to look at a property, not physically, obviously, and someone gives you the gross rent and the purchase price. Gross rent and purchase price. And I want you to know what you can do with it right away. Because once you get into these properties that are, where the GRM is, double-digit GRMs, we got to move that number. We got to move that number, right? The reason that the 6 or the 9 GRM, let's go with 6 GRM works. Remember, everybody, why 6 is important to us. Yep. So if we look at, we see a property has a GRM of 6, and the purchase price is $100K, and the gross rents are, we said, $16,666. If I divide this by 2 for expenses, right, that'll be 8,333. That should be an 8. 8,333. Just a quick number calculation. That's my expenses. Therefore, my net operating income is roughly 8,333, which makes my cap rate what? What's my cap rate? Did I go too fast? I'm sorry. You guys still with me? A little fast? Okay. No worries, no worries. Let's do it again slower. Okay. So, we're trying to establish why the GRM 6 number is important to us. The GRM of 6. So if I had a property where the purchase price was 100K, okay, 100K. We know that because it's a 6 GRM, right? The GRM is 6. We know that the gross rent is $16,666. Does everybody see that? Where's you getting 8.3? What is? Oh, you meant for cap. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so if that's the gross rent per year, right? My expenses, right? Let's say they're 50%. Okay, that's going to be 50% of the gross for expenses. That's $8,333 for expenses. Yes. That's a negative. Negative. Let's do this. So negative $8,333. And then we have the net operating income is 16,000 minus 8,300, which gives me $8,333, which gives me a cap of 8.3, which is not 10, but it's close. Everybody see that now? And we're looking for a 10 cap rate for cash flow. So when you're looking at properties, you can ask yourself that question. What is the gross rent? Okay, Anna, I'll look that over and get back to you about it. What is the gross rent? What is the purchase price? What is the GRM? Okay. Does everybody understand what I'm showing here? Is anybody not clear on it? Okay, you want to go one step deeper? Do you want to go one step deeper? Okay. See, now what you do is you go, okay, my cap's 8.3, my GRM was 6, my cap's 8.3, I have $8,000 in cents, we have $8,333. Okay, let's say that there's 2 units. 2 units, okay? 2 units. How much do I got to make on each unit? How much do I need to make per unit? Minimum. Net operating income. Where'd you get that number, Dave? I'm talking about net operating income. So don't worry about, I think I see where you're coming with that number, but I just want you to give me the per unit. No, I think you guys are jumping ahead a little bit. That's okay. How much is the per unit net? What's the per unit? What's the goal? I should have said goal. What's the goal per unit? What do I need to make per unit? There we go. 75 bucks. There you go. So if I need to make $75 per unit, how much do I need to make in a year? In 12 months. So 75, 2 units need to make $150. $150 times 12. How much do I need to make? So we got that? All right, good stuff. 1,800 bucks. Okay. All right. So if I take 1,800 away from this, Take 1,800 away from 8,333. What number do you come up with? So 2 units need 150 cash flow. That was how much? 1,800. So I take 1,800 away from this. Okay, see that there? From this, what number do I come up with? 6,533. Does anybody know what that represents? You want to guess? Expenses? No, remember we took the expenses out. This is what that is. That's after expenses are gone. Extra cash? I wish. ROI? Nope, not ROI. There you go. George, nice. It's for the mortgage. This is the max debt service, the max I can spend on servicing the financing. So we got it? That's the max I can spend on financing. So take 6,533 and divide it by 12. What do you get? $544.41. That's my max mortgage payment per month for this property to work. Fix that. Everybody got that? Oops. So let's go. It was 544,141. Divide that. That's the max mortgage. Mort per month. That's my monthly payment. Yeah. Yeah, it's you know, this is the max we can pay for a mortgage on this property. It's $544.44 a month. That's a combination of financing, creative financing, bank financing. It doesn't matter. The max we can spend is $544 per month. Now that's with a 6 GRM. Okay, you start getting into GRMs that are higher than 6 on that same property, you won't have any money for financing. You won't have any money because you won't have enough income coming in to cover, you know, the ownership of the property. Now, one thing I want to say with this property, right? You know, this number that we're making, you know, 544 represents the max mortgage payment. This can actually tell us how much, you know, how much can we get? Maybe 544, we need to put 10 down payment to make this work because we can only spend 544. It doesn't matter what you do. You got to spend you can't spend more than 544. So you might have to put 10% down payment, $10,000, and finance $90,000 to make this work. But we can't breach the 544 mark. Does that make sense to everybody? We went kind of deep in the rabbit hole there. but it's these numbers are all connected. They're all connected. You know, you're all smart enough to understand this stuff. I The thing I want you to do is I want you to be able to quickly evaluate a property and be able to decide whether you want to spend more time on it. And the reason I bring all this up was because I wanted you to recognize the power of GRM. You know, if the GRM, you know, if you're not dealing with 6 to 8 GRMs, I mean, you're gonna have to fight to make that property work. So GRM, don't underestimate GRM to decide whether you want to spend time on a property. And what do we need for GRM? Easy. Purchase price and gross rent. And anybody can get you that. You know? Anybody can get you that. Any questions? Yeah, that's right. That's right, Ed. The GRM is garbage. You know, if you have a 14 GRM, don't even bother. Don't even waste your time. You know, at best you're looking at a wholesale. I don't want to, tell you there's nothing there, but these properties, these GRMs they're crazy, and they're rooted in this it's okay to have a 3 cap rate. And a 3 cap rate just means 3% against purchase price. It's terrible. It's terrible. In my opinion. Yeah. This is not okay. This 3% cap rate is ridiculous. It's not worth having property at 3% cap rate, in my opinion. Yeah, they do. People will take it and they'll think it's okay. And the reason they think it's okay is because they're trying to own the house. And for us, this thing's worth 0. No, GRM is not more important than cap rate, but GRM allows you to, narrow your focus, to just quickly evaluate. Because GRM, remember, is gross numbers, right, Sharon? Because, and we need to actually check the actual expenses. But if the GRM is, 14, it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. It's not going to work, for cash flow, because there would have to be no expenses, And to tell you the truth, off the top of my head, I don't even know if that would work. It would probably come close if it had no expenses, but that's irrational to believe that that's possible. So GRM is an indicator that you use to see if it's even worth your time to look at the property. Does that make sense to everybody? It's not worth our time. It's not worth our time. So I don't want you to waste time on properties that have no shot at making you money. We don't want to do that. I want you to move as quickly and as efficiently and safely as possible. And GRM is a great metric for you to figure that out. It's a great metric. Use it properly, and it can really save you a ton of time. Because it's easy for us to get the purchase price and the gross rent. Okay? Yeah, exactly. 6, close to 6. And then this is, again, 6, close to 6 is going to cash flow. If you're 7, 8, 9, you're going away from the potential cash flow opportunity. It doesn't mean you can't flip it, or you can't do a lease option, a rent to own on it. But single family homes, cap rate and GRM, again, GRM, we're not looking at single family homes. We can use GRM, but single family homes, really, we're going to do rent to owns anyways. We're not really going to do, this is for 2 to 4, or 2 to 100 units, really, when it comes to GRM. Okay, any other questions before we wrap up? Okay, if you're good, type in yes. Awesome. Okay, I want to let everybody know before you go, okay? Next week, I'm going to start the session again at 9:45. I just have a new group that I'm bringing into our group. I won't bring them in next week. It'll be the following week. So next week, we'll be starting our session at 9:45. So that's 9:45 instead of 9:30. And If any of you are doing message boards or you got Facebook or something with the rest of the group or larger groups, please post that. Let everybody know. 9:45, 9:45 p.m. next week, and then we'll resume back to the 9:30 start time with everybody. Okay? Awesome. All right, folks. If you need anything, you know how to reach me. Let me know, and I'll look over that property and get back to you. And everybody have a great rest of the week.